And welcome!
And new Intercontinental Champion.
Number one contender and tag team champions. And
a lot of stuff happening last night in the world of professional
Yes.
wrestling. This is the Squared Circle. I'm Justin Greenberg alongside Anthony Tartamel. We have so much to talk about. Where do you want to start?
well, I think we dive right in.
Swanton dive, right?
Yeah,
Right, Anthony?
well, that may lead to some interesting storylines moving on with, including the Hardys, which I'll
Yeah.
get to. There's some rumors on the dirt sheets, so we'll talk about those. But we are here to talk for the next about 30 minutes about professional wrestling.
Wrestling.
And last night we had Extreme Rules, which is a Raw exclusive pay-per-view, was in Baltimore, Maryland, and now if you believe this, only one face won the whole night.
Who was it?
Rich Swann and Sasha Banks.
Yes.
Every other match was won by a heel. So we had the first match of the night. I'm not counting the pre-show.
Wait, awesome shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank
before
you.
We get
I got
to
it
that.
from Uniqlo in the mall.
That is dope, dude.
Thank you.
It's like all these.
You can see it on
8-bit and-
Facebook Live.
There we go.
We have to make a Facebook page so that way when we go Facebook Live. it
Yeah,
can
let's
to the
do it.
page.
I'll do it tonight.
There you go. Perfect. Because we are Facebook Live, but you have to be my friend right now to see it on live.
Yeah.
Facebook, but
The friends of Anthony. Watch it
me
in, man.
watch me live, man. So the first match of the night, I don't remember.
It was the
Miz.
Intercontinental.
See,
I liked it.
Funny story. That's the only match I didn't see.
Really?
Because I was really craving Domino's cheesy bread.
Ugh.
So I had to get it, and I wasn't paying the $3.50 for the delivery.
Okay, so you
I
drove there?
drove there, and I got back like right after that match ended.
Rewatch it. I know you're an Ambrose guy. I'm a Miz guy. I think Ambrose can be good. I think Miz is, his strong suit is on the mic. But the story they told with the whole, if Miz gets disqualified, if Ambrose gets disqualified, he loses the title.
Something with Maurice, right, on the ring.
A lot of
slapping
stuff
him,
happened, and it was really played well. The in-ring psychology, which is something I'm a huge fan of. You don't have to do all these flips and all these crazy maneuvers. It's just about telling a story in the ring, whether you're only doing punches and suplexes. If the crowd is into it and it makes sense, and that's what this match did. The crowd was super hot because it's the opening match of the night. Miz is over as a heel, and some fans do like him, and Ambrose has been over since day one, and they put on a great, psychology-style match.
I think for Ambrose is such a crazy guy, and in CZW he just did such crazy stuff that I feel like he really needs that moment for me. Like, I like him. He's a good character, but he hasn't done it yet.
Yeah.
Like, he's very clearly willing to do pretty much anything, and they haven't put him in that match where it's like, hey, go crazy.
In this day and age, it's so tough, though, with the PG
if you
era.
get somebody else, like, even if you don't do the crazy blood stuff, just something crazy.
He's been in the ring with Rollins, and if Rollins couldn't get that moment out of him, very few guys
it's about
could.
the stipulation, though, too. I would like to see those guys in a Hell in a Cell.
They
type
were.
match. Really?
Yeah.
When?
Maybe 3. It was the same match, same night as Cena Orton in the Hell in a Cell.
Really? I don't remember this at all.
They felt kind of like midway. You know when Shawn Michaels fell off the Hell in a Cell in the first one? They fell both from that height through a table.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is.
It wasn't a very memorable match.
I don't
you
remember
even
it at all.
know.
Nope.
Yeah. So
No recollection of it whatsoever.
Yeah, I think he needs that breakthrough feud. He's had some decent feuds with Jericho, him and the Miz. It's all right. I hope it ends though. I'd like to see them go on to different things.
We do have a question from Facebook Live.
Ooh, what is it?
Where does this win put the Miz in the history of the Intercontinental Championship belt? Where is he an all-time great Intercontinental
I think
champion?
he's definitely in the top 10 for sure. It's just a different era. The belt does not have the same prestige as it did back in the day because there's 3 other belts. There's the United States, and then they have the Universal and the other one. But to me, he's a 7-time winner. I can't really think
does great stuff with it pretty much every time he has it.
Yeah, but there's never when you think of those great Intercontinental Championship matches, whether it's Savage Steamboat or Michaels Ramon or Bulldog Hart. You can't really say what is the Miz's great Intercontinental title match. Again, what the Miz does strong is his promo work.
Yeah.
It's not his in-ring ability.
It's what he does with the belt, not necessarily in the ring.
Yeah. So I would easily put him in the top 10 just because of the amount of wins he's had and the length and everything like that. But as far as, I still have Mr. Perfect above him. Honky Tonk Man, again, never really had those great matches, but the length, he's definitely in the top 10 for sure. Razor Ramon, Chris Jericho, or some other great title holders as well. Even Brett had a decent 2 runs with it. But yeah, I mean, The Miz is a Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah.
The guy is money on the microphone.
Yeah,
I think he's the best in the company right now.
He's great. We had after that match was, I believe, the Sasha Banks and
Rich Swann
against Noam Dar and Alicia Fox, which
I thought it was a good match.
Yeah, it was fun.
Those two could go.
I think we talked a little bit about how do we get the cruiserweights a little bit more relevancy, and
Yeah.
I think this does it. Getting someone like Sasha Banks, someone that more people care about, into this feud, I think makes people care.
Yeah, and it's interesting they put Sasha on 205 Live.
Yep.
Again, I've never seen an episode of that, but I know she was on it.
Yeah, for sure she was.
So
that is a thing.
To me, I think this was a solid match. Nothing that stands out, but like you said earlier, it's the only match of the night where the faces actually won.
Yeah.
You can't get away with
from
that.
Sasha and Rich.
Yeah.
I love them dancing. That's great.
Yeah, and I believe Sasha is married.
She's married to the ring guy.
It's so weird.
The guy that does the attire for them.
Yeah, and he's on Xavier Woods' show.
Yeah.
Up, down, down. It's strange, man. What was your thoughts on the match?
It was fun. It was a little,
It was quick.
a hometown match win for Rich Swann, which kind of breaks the curse of being in your hometown recently. It's pretty much been whenever you guys are in their hometown, they lose. So, I mean, I was happy for him to get that win. I mean, maybe now that, Austin Aries, that may be starting to fade now.
Yeah.
I think they may put Aries now on the main roster. We'll talk about that a little bit in a little bit, but maybe Rich Swann gets back into the title picture against Neville. Maybe throw him back in that.
I think that would be great. Rich Swann, from the very little I've seen from him, he's very charismatic.
Yeah.
He's really good in the ring. He had an awesome kick to the face of Noam Dar. It was like a spinning back super kick. It was amazing. The only problem I have, and it's not his fault, he did the Phoenix Splash in the match. That's his finishing move. But later on the night, we saw Rollins attempt that same move. It's just weird that, one of the talent or the agents didn't say, Rich Swann, this is his finisher. Seth Rollins, don't do it. You don't need to do that. I think, for a move like that, imagine if everyone just did the stunner. Imagine we saw 2 people do Stone Cold Stunners.
Well, I think the thing is, too, when you're in a fatal 5-way, that's pretty much just going to be like, let's spam our finishing maneuvers and let's just spam these crazy high spots because that's pretty much all it is let's do some high spot. Okay, we're out of the match. Other guys are going to come in and do their high spot. All right, now we're back, rotating around. So I think that's the thing, but... one thing that bothers me is the amount of super kicks we see.
Suicide dives, even worse.
Yeah, I know you're a big anti-suicide dive guy.
I hate it.
But super kicks for me are the big thing. Like, that was so cool seeing Shawn Michaels do a super kick. And
that was my favorite
that was the
finisher.
match. And now it's like you'll see him 2 or 3 times a night sometimes.
Yeah.
But I get what you're saying, but I just think that the way that, moves are booked now, just it's transitioned, and I don't like it.
I hate it.
It's the way it is.
We were talking, with Tom a few weeks ago or last week, and we like that old.
Tom actually just commented
What
2
did he
matches
say?
had the figure 4. So
Exactly. We like the Southern style of wrestling where it's just not high spot after high spot. I kind of like that's why I did like the Miz match. It was a throwback to an early '90s type of match.
Yeah.
What was the third match of the night? Was it the
Alexa match?
Nah, I doubt they would have went 2 female matches in a row. Maybe it was Hardy's.
No, they were for.
Did they break it up with the guitar performance?
Oh yeah, Elliot Sampson.
He's a pretty good guitar player. It was just unnecessary, man.
I mean, I don't know. He just kind of plays like a riff.
Yeah,
he's pretty big. He's a cool character. I like it.
I mean, this is unique. I mean, The Rock had his rock concerts, but it's cool that a guy could play an instrument. and he's making fun of the crowd. He definitely had heat, and I've never seen him in the ring. Is he anything good?
He's pretty good, yeah. He had that match against The Miz, and then he beat up some enhancement talent.
All right, so we'll see what that guy does. I'm sure he'll be on Raw
And maybe
tonight.
they'll have him go for the Intercontinental now. Maybe that's who they throw into that title picture.
Yeah.
Because now they can go in so many different directions, especially coming out of the Fatal 5-Way. You know, we don't know what are we going to do with Finn now, because obviously he's not going to do anything going into Great Balls of Fire. Same thing with Roman. Samoa Joe, who picked him?
Yeah, we'll
No
get
one.
into that in a bit, though. So let's just go. Let's say the next match was the Hardys versus Cesaro Sheamus. I thought this was a cluster mess. That's obviously not what I want to say, but I to have a tag team cage match does not work. The whole concept of the cage match for the WWE is to escape. Having two people in there, it just doesn't make sense, because if one guy escapes, then it's just a 2-on-1 match. They had to keep on reiterating that, because Michael Cole was like, if both people's feet touch the ground, it's like, all right, we get it. You don't have to say it once. We're not idiots.
I think there's a lot of rumors that this might lead to the breaking up of the Hardys.
I hope not.
That would, I mean, so correct me if I'm wrong, and Tom, if you're still watching, Tom, you may be able to correct me if I'm wrong. But basically, the whole broken gimmick came about because Matt blamed Jeff for them losing the tag titles in Impact. So
That
maybe
sounds right.
they're getting back to that a little bit here.
I would love for
But
them.
the problem is that the tag team division is so bad in Raw.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
I mean, we will be getting the revival.
Eventually, they'll be back.
I think they'll be back soon.
Enzo and Cass could be breaking up, because I don't
Yeah.
know if you noticed this too. So we talked about the revival. Oh, look, they shook hands, you know, or they were seen on footage.
Yeah.
And then on that Raw last week, they kind of played that up a little bit. And then, I don't know if you noticed, 2 weeks ago, Corey Graves said, I'd love to shake the hand of the guy that beat up Enzo Amore.
And then shook
last
hands.
week, he shook Big Cass's hand.
I think maybe it's too obvious. I don't know.
I don't know. It could be either one. But if they're breaking up Enzo and Cass,
That's
or
stupid.
the Hardys,
You can't break them up.
Breaking up two teams that are pretty over, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. As much
you may
as I
not
don't
like-
care for Cass and Enzo,
they are over.
They're super over.
So, and in their eyes, they don't have any other faces. These are
Yeah.
the only two face teams like in WWE right now.
Yeah, and they broke up Goldust and R-Truth.
Yeah.
I mean, not like they were anything, but
I mean, there's really nothing left. So I don't get what they're doing.
Don't bring up. They're not going to bring up the Hardys. I think there's too much money involved with that. Hardys, everyone loves them. What did he say?
That WWE needs the inner city bad boys.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That is the truth, but
It's true, man. I would love to see Tom and what's his
Tom
partner's
and
name?
Drake Cassidy.
Yes, that would be amazing.
They could feud with Enzo and Cass, who's the real New Yorkers.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Battle in New York.
I'm sure every other state would hate that.
So the Subway Series, we're the best. No, we're the best.
You know, that was actually one of the worst rated World Series as far as,
Yeah,
you know,
I believe it.
because nobody out of New York wanted to watch that.
Yeah, I believe it.
So,
The women's match we'll talk about, because that was, in my opinion... Well, I'm sorry.
well, any other thoughts on the Hardy match? Did you? I didn't like it. I thought, it was too much going on.
Pacing was really bad.
Yeah. High spot, you knew Jeff was going to jump off there eventually. I'm glad Sheamus and Cesaro are champs, though. I've been digging them.
I'm just tired of this feud, so I hope that they go another route with it.
They have to have their rematch.
I wanted to see more Hardy as champions and see them maybe face another team, maybe do, maybe fight the Club or something.
Oh, yeah, the Club's still there.
the Revival. Like, I'd love to see them go.
What other face team are...
There's no one else. There's Enzo and Cass are really the only other one.
I think
they're not even really faces, I don't think.
No, we both agree. They're definitely not faces. I thought it was, again, not a great match. And
unless they put together, like I was saying last week, unless they bring together another team, they just make a
Rollins
new team.
and Ranger were saying.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the women's match. I can't believe Bayley lost.
Yeah, they
back-to-back.
really buried her there.
Yeah.
I was really shocked at how bad they made her look. Again, it just was one of those matches where Alexa showed like she's dominant.
Mm-hmm.
She is the best right now on Raw. Bayley literally, I don't know where it leaves her now, because she got obliterated.
Well, she lost because she didn't have the killer instinct, so maybe they could do like a whole Rocky 3 thing. She needs like the Eye of the Tiger. Maybe Sasha can bring it out of her, like kind of like train her like Apollo Creed did to Rocky Balboa.
Maybe.
They could do that. I think that would be cool, and she like comes back and wins it. It'll be cool, she finally conquers her fear of not being ruthless. Mm-hmm. I think that's something they could work with. The fans were kind of, booing Bayley. especially
she
during
just
the
didn't do
promo.
anything. Yeah, it was a really the build up to this match wasn't great.
Oh,
and
can we talk about the "This Is Your Life"
that
segment?
was probably one of the worst segments I've ever seen on WWE TV.
It was easily the worst of the year.
Yeah.
And one of the worst, most cringeworthy moments ever. And it's not Alexa Bliss's fault.
No.
It's just, you tell a girl to go out there for 10 minutes and just, with terrible material, nobody could have saved that.
No. That was bad. She did a great job with what she was handed with.
Did.
Yeah, she's definitely a pro. Yeah, it's funny because such a bad promo makes her look good now. Because I'm like, wow, she can do pretty much anything. She can take the worst possible promo they could ever hand someone.
I think a lot of people